Welcome back to the channel where we're going to take a look at another Twitch Rivals match. This was the most requested match because of how hectic it gets towards the end. If you enjoy this type of content, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Goal in today's video is 10,000 likes. If you're brand new, want to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, just double check, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. So the first player we're watching right now is Almond. If you're unfamiliar with how this format of this particular matches work, pretty much they take 150 of the top players, put them into a private match, and kind of see what happens. They give different placement based off combination of kills and placement. You can see he gets shot out of the air pretty quickly by JGOD. Pretty nasty way to start your match, especially since your life is so valuable because you got to be bought back and all those types of things. Harder to regain because there are so many people that stay alive for longer periods of time. Now we're spectating Huskers. Again, all the links to their stuff will be linked near the top of the description as we go through the various players. If you don't know who Huskers is, most people would argue he is one of, if not the best Warzone player currently, just because of the things he's able to do on keyboard and mouse. Definitely is one of the best keyboard and mouse players, hands down, no question. So you can see he's kind of doing a little bit of stretch landing. The benefit in doing a stretch landing is there's less likely to be people there, especially if you're going to do better with your team kind of holding together, staying together, because as you'll see at the end, the lives become pretty important, these types of things, especially when you want to trade out. You can't afford to get thirsted, where once you're down, you're finished off immediately. It just takes too much away. So he's paying attention, marking, while the teammate grabbed the flat, or whatever, grabbed the scab, so he'll be able to land directly on it. And that just speeds up the process, because you do about one scab with the full trio. Generally, you have enough money to get your loadout. So that's the strategy, especially since anyone in this lobby can shoot. You want to make sure you have your loadout as pretty much as fast as possible. They are starting outside the zone, elected to get the scav instead of maybe a recon, which give you a little intel, because of the format with the kills and the placement being so important. Like the combination, you can't just win. You need to get kills along the way. It's kind of important to get around 18 kills as a team while placing in the top 5. So that's normally got to be the strategy almost for any match, which if you go to the middle of the zone too early, you might not get enough engagements until late game, and it might not be 18 kills worth. So there's going to be different strategies into going to this. So he's just damaging up this Bertha. His teammates are shooting in the back, seeing if anyone jumps out, using floor loot Farah. This is pre-nerf.
I have a lot of cash.
So there it is. He has enough pretty much combined. They can get the loadout here.
I have a lot of cash.
They have 100 extra.
In white, electric, bottom floor.
And normally a lot of these players, they especially the ones we're going to be spectating, they'll do these 2v2 wagers where they're playing duo quads and essentially splitting off. And they're very comfortable doing that. And if they were playing normal public matches, they would have no issue doing that. But the fact that literally anyone you can run up against will shoot in this lobby, and they know how to shoot back, you know, efficiently, you can't afford to not play your position well, because a lot of these gunfights are going to come down to position rather than just raw gun skill, because at a certain point, the skill gap is so close. There's not really much of a skill gap in a lobby like this. So you have to play smarter, which is why I recommend a lot of people, even if you're below average, kind of look at how they play situations, because the style and positioning that they have relates a little bit more to how you play in a lobby where maybe everyone is a little bit closer to your skill level. So still continue to loot outside the zone. It was a hard shift, kind of like northern. So you're probably not going to be able to outrun this gas without dropping your weapons. Or use it in vehicles. So you're going to want to try and rotate sooner rather than later, so you don't get caught out in the gas being held. Because essentially if you get held, it removes almost all the skill gap, and you have to pull off some kind of clutch like snipe to take out the enemy, which just makes it a little bit too much pressure on one shot. So he's got a trophy system, looted up. And like I said, we're going to go through different perspectives. We'll head back on Almond in a bit. And then after we're done with Huskers, we'll probably go to Kaylie at some point, because her team placed well in all of the matches within Twitch Rivals. I think they were like top 5 in almost every match. But because of the situation I talked about earlier, where not getting enough kills because you maybe rotated a little too early, you end up not getting enough points to actually get the big money on the leaderboards. So they're already kind of close enough to the zone now. They did get shot at. He was able to take a second to plate up.
They're like top train.
And that's one thing you got to be aware of too, because everyone can shoot. Literally, if you're driving by, if you start taking damage, he's got to make sure he's fully plated. Because of how accurate people are, if just driving by, they're going to be able to hit every shot. Versus a regular public match, people are likely to miss. Gold chest in there. His teammates grabbing that. And they're already assuming people get loadouts because, like I said, people play... good players play at that pace where they get a loadout almost instantly versus an average lobby. People take their time. They just loot, more loot. And then even when they have a loadout, maybe they're not like urgent about getting their guns. They're waiting for the free loadout.
One of them has a sniper for sure.
So they're three peeking, they call it, you know, third person, because you use the vehicle. Obviously, you could see over this and they don't know that you're looking over. And that's kind of what he was doing with the vehicle though. So very smart. You could utilize that. Anytime you're in a vehicle, that's what makes the vehicles very powerful, is because you could be behind cover and you can use the different camera angles to kind of manipulate it and see what's going on. So you can see one guy is above and one guy looks like on their level based off, maybe they're both above. It's kind of hard to see that other dot because they have those little triangle chevrons above their head.
I'm watching this with you.
So they're seeing if this guy's going to peek out. The UAV just ran out. So now they have to rely on, you know, heartbeat or stuns to check where people are. They forfeited the scav. They didn't end up getting that at all. They just let that go. Sometimes that's a bad thing in these types of matches because that money could be very useful later on, especially when you're trying to regain. If you're trying to do one contract, the amount of money you'll get would be enough to get your teammates back. But obviously with their tempoing, that's kind of how they decided they wanted to rotate before completing that contract. So you got one down, and then you can see they're going for a push. They're a little bit too far away from the vehicles to run back to the vehicle to grab it, but I guess it's a matter of preference. But they're pushing pretty aggressively here to try and get a couple more kills. Not necessarily knowing how many people are in here. Obviously, he's playing with Rated and Aiden, which are two of the top other players that are in terms of money. These are the top 3 players, I believe, on money earned from like tournaments and events, which is pretty kind of crazy. Guy came back around, got a flank. Didn't really hear him. They may have popped dead silence and come through. That's how he got shot in the back. And then you can see that there was a team wipe there.
Here, give me cons for a sec if you can.
And then obviously these gulags become pretty important. Groza is still broken iron sights. I don't know when they'll ever address that. And this is right after the season 3 update. So now we're on Kaylie's. They are rotated super early in this scenario. And this goes back to kind of what I was saying, where maybe you don't get enough kills that you needed for points. Because like I said, their team placed like top 5 in all of the matches. We saw them in the previous one. They were going head to head. I think they got second against OP Mark's team when we looked at that Twitch Rivals match. And then there was another one where they were top 5. Like almost every scenario, they were top 5. And they managed to rack up a decent amount of kills late game. But combined, maybe they were getting like 8 to 10 kills versus the 18 that you really needed to win this tournament. Which we'll kind of see once we kind of break down a couple of the other matches, kind of how that broke down. So they have the AMAX with the Street Sweeper. Pretty solid, has dead silence. Everyone has self-revive. So they've already done the looting portion, right? They got the satchels. They probably had engagement. Maybe one of the teammates got kills. But putting yourself in a disadvantage where everything is put on the fact that you're going to get kills late game and in rotation. And right here, they do have the vehicles, right? They have the Berthas. Those are all pretty solid. If they get down, they'll be able to get tapped, which a lot of the other teams do not have, right? Money-wise. So they're looking at the cars rotate here. A little bit of glare from the sun. And I think this was just a like experiment thing with the rule set, because the first time they had the rule set, there was kills plus placement points. So if that was the format, they probably would have won because of how many, like, or at least been higher in the rankings because of how many placement points were awarded. In this particular case with the multiplier, you get 2 times for first place, like a 1.5 for second through fifth, a 1.2 for like 10th or what 6th through 10th or something like that. So if you're not placing high and getting a reasonable amount of kills, you put yourself at a disadvantage. I know I've kind of hammered that home, but that's a big reason why, you know, certain players were able to win in these tournaments, just because the rule set, they were able to maximize those points. So you can see there's somebody's doing the recon to the right, loadout's down low, not a lot of action going on right now. But this was kind of expected if you're rotated a little bit earlier, haven't done recons to know where you could position true late game. So that ends up being the strategy. We saw that with OP Mark. They rotated super early, and then they ended up like just cleaning up a lot of kills late game. And I think that's what their team was banking on. Just didn't happen. So now we're on with Doug's, well, not Doug's Raw. He just died to Rated. But we're back on Huskers.
Yeah, you can come down with me, and then we can...
He has a dead silence. And Doug's Raw's team, I think he was with Teep and Joe Woe.
We could just go gun them.
I believe that was the team. I don't remember exactly. But one of the benefits of knowing the teams is you know who you're going up against when you're playing here. So everyone in going into this, they knew that if you were going up against Huskers, you were going against Aiden and Rated, and vice versa. So a lot of stuns. Aiden got Doug's Raw down again. You can see Joe Woe got Aiden. So he's pushing back out. He throws the stun.
Stun him hard.
He comes back out. They got stuns. And that was what a lot of the good players were running. They were running stuns because of how broken they can be. Even though controllers still get an advantage with the stun compared to keyboard and mouse, they had to utilize it. He did pop dead silent, so now he's going for a flank. Joe Woe had no clue he was coming around for the flank because you couldn't hear him. Comes through, pinches, giving good comms. Obviously, if you want to hear these things, they're on their Twitch channels, which I'm linking down in the description. Because I know a lot of times when I talk, I just continue to talk throughout the gameplay. You're not going to hear all the comms. That's perfectly fine. That's just kind of how it is. Because I'm giving information about what's going on. So he's going to go back, see if Joe has any money. Nothing there. He picks up a gas mask. Ends up getting shot in the corner. Didn't even see. Just kind of snapped to where he saw the bullets coming from. And then you can see he has a sliver of health. So he's backing off. Fire sale starts, which is a huge thing that happens in this moment. He's got to make a play for a buy station because you can buy your teammates back for free. So they're just discussing where they should go. Should he go to that one? Should he go over there? They're talking about going to storage. And that's primarily because they moved through storage. That should be mostly clear. And it's about to touch the gas, so that's even more like perfect. That it's likely going to be uncontested. He comes out, runs in there. Probably could have got a gas mask, another replenish. So no, he's good. He got a UAV. He already had the gas mask. It's still good. He's going to rotate back in. And then he pops the UAV so his teammates know where they're going to land. You can see that where Joe Woe's body was, he looks like he went back for his loot or somebody was there. So he comes through. They already have an idea kind of where they are, kind of on the middle level. Looks like the guy's kind of in that hallway.
Oh my god.
He heard the guy at the last second, shot him, and he had no clue the guy was there because the guy has Ghost. And that's unfortunate, right? That's just kind of how it goes. That's why Ghost is so powerful in this game. It's because literally you get the first shot advantage. And in a normal lobby, he would have turned on that person and probably wrecked them because they were just an average player with average reaction and average gun skill. He would have demolished them. But everyone in this lobby having good gun skill kind of messes that up a little bit. They still don't have enough money. It is what it is. Now we're back over on Almond. It looks like he just took out Lucky Shamu.
I had a lot of money. Wait,
And he's trying to work his way to a buy so he can get his teammates back. Obviously, there's a little bit of engagements. He does have 3 kills. Running that SMG build XM4.
Should I just play it like ultra late or should I just try to go?
No, I start going now because the people on your left could be coming over too. And it was Mutex and that.
So they're just talking about it. And see, they know the enemies they're going up against. They go, okay, that's so-and-so's team. That's kind of who they're with. And I think Mutex was with Blast. So we'll probably be seeing Blast in a quick second.
Ed on the other buy, and then Ed has a lot of money. You might be able to res me after, you know?
Yeah.
So he rezzed them. And then he's going to go get Noobs over on the other buy. That is a gold one. So luckily they did that supply earlier. So he's able to go get their teammate.
You can land on the guns at that building. Maybe.
So he marks them again so that he can get guns again. And they know that somebody's close. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't have enough money to buy a UAV. Enemy has a UAV. Tommy ended up dying, but he did get the res off, so he did get noobs. And then now he's able to get noobs for that money back. So it kind of worked out that way. I guess he could have bought noobs, and noobs could have landed there. And then they could have still bought Tommy, but at least they were going to try and use that res to save money.
I'm getting pushed. Hold on.
So he's getting pushed. Here's the stuns. Notice how many more stuns you're seeing than heartbeats. Normally the top players, when they're in lobbies, they're usually using a heartbeat because they're playing faster, so they know that people don't have ghost, even though a lot of people do. It's just, you can hear, it sounded like somebody threw down munitions. So they come through, wipe them out. That was Blast. Blast is another disgusting player. Former pro.
Where is that, Ben?
What? Which one? I can't see.
That is.
So now they have to make a move over there. You can see that Tommy is like way on the other side, and then Noobs is kind of working his way in. They were very split up. And you can see the Crown is nearby, so either they're just trying to get money or they are a full team. That's usually the two scenarios with the Crown, right?
Damn, Tom.
And in this type of lobby, they're probably just post it up, get your teammate back, hope for a regroup. You can see the teammates over there or enemies by the Bertha over at fire. And then there's somebody at the buy directly in front. So this is like treacherous. There's still 70-ish people in the lobby.
Yeah, like going towards this.
Yeah.
And he's kind of guiding them.
Marking stuff to you to drive towards.
He's kind of guiding them because he kind of saw where the action was. So he's telling them to go there because of the two Berthas, the buy station. They know that there was action there. Less likely to get shot. Trying to work his way, navigate all the way to this buy station for a regain, right? We've seen this a lot where most of these matches are generally spent regaining because you're likely to get engagements and you need to get your teammates back. It's not like you have this huge surplus of cash that you would in a regular public match. But that's normal. A lot of times I run into people in public matches, they don't have any money. Unfortunately, he tries to shoot him here. He ends up getting the kill. Poor little death car there for Frozone, which we've covered Frozone on the channel. So now we got Aiden over here in the area. And this is on the south side of the map. And you can see they've slowly rotated in with the gas. They were over by Boneyard. Then they went all the way through in storage by the pool. Then they went to airport. And now they've crossed the airport. And they're continuing to move their way along. And that leads to engagements. Look, Aiden already has 5 kills. I think Huskers already has like 5 kills. Rated has a couple kills at this point. And this is kind of the temp point. It's just way riskier.
Like 3 minutes ago.
But without risk, there's no reward. So you kind of got to play it in a way that makes sense for you to get racked up on all the money you need. It literally pushed it towards the middle. At least he has a trophy. He could push that in. And then he can try and work on getting a buy, right? Another regain. And remember we saw that earlier on the other one.
Maybe that one. There was a team there?
There was other teams. So now there's another one outside the zone. He's still going to rotate towards over by this. I don't even know what this area is called. North of airport? Northwest?
They might have already rotated though, which would be really good.
I don't even know what this area is called. But you guys know where this is. So he's come through. Gonna go for a quick buy. Hopefully no one was inside there because that people will watch that buy like a hawk.
I think you guys play your life. I'm literally gonna float to a loadout.
Cool. So he has about a minute and a half for loadout.
Yeah, my car is about to blow up, so
There's another Bertha there.
He's getting in. That's probably somebody's Bertha. You can see he's going in. He's kind of watching what's going on. He was able to yoink the Bertha. Nice. So now you can see Almond, and then you can see the Bertha over here on the right. That's an Aiden inside there. So there's a lot of things going on. So Almond was able to come back in. He got bought back, and it's just a continual regain. Sucks because you end up picking up a 1911 pistol. So now he's going to go res him, and that worked out that they had that one from earlier, and that's the one Tommy landed on. It's just kind of like these unfortunate situations. 35 seconds for the loadout to come in.
nobody drops at trade.
And then this is where the Bertha was that Aiden, I think he rotated in.
Try and make way to, okay?
Or maybe it was a little bit further back. Either way, it's like, what the hell is this car doing here?
Hey, guns on me, Ed.
Whoa, they lucked out hard.
And then I'll go to
All
trade.
kinds of
It's going out
guns.
gas, it's going out of gas. Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah, that's oh, good. It's all-
That sucks. He won't be able to grab it.
There's guys right here. Be
No
careful.
plates though.
Okay.
Low-key, your best bet might be to get that and just drive up through or something.
I might need comms here. There could be people at these traders.
So this is an unfortunate push.
You got this.
You can see there is one person on the map to the right, to the, was that northeast of him? You can see the people on the left are fighting by the buy.
Well, be careful.
And he's working his way to his team. Luckily, his team is already in the zone.
Oh my god, 6
And you can see where all those loadouts are, so that's likely who Huskers is going to land. But his teammates are on the hill by the buy, so that's a nice spot for them to help gatekeep, overlook what's going on. Well, not overlook because it's lower, but you guys get what I'm saying. So you can see these vehicles all on the right. Tommy was able to pick off Reed Boy there, I think. Is that Reed Boy? Yeah.
I'm about to fight. Hold
That was part of Iron's team.
Hey, can you get me?
Whoa, he got one kill. Pulls out the OP gun, got some plates. The Street Sweeper is so broken for these indoor engagements.
Oh, I got, I'm
They're-
dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. There's a guy in that shack,
Ooh,
there's
he
a guy
got
sitting in that shack.
smoked.
Yeah, yeah. There's people
He got
right
bought
here.
back
We've got
immediately?
these people.
Should I land on Lodi?
Yep, yeah, land loading and run down. Or try and hold the top of the hill for us, Ben. You can't really hold the top of the hill. There's 2 people over on my right.
He's going to go for it.
They're crossing, they're crossing. Right here.
And getting a ghost loadout right here. So he has a launcher. And this is the interesting part, right? Like he's like, oh, shoot. Normally in these situations, you probably want to fire on it before you launcher it. Because you need to put about 15 to 20 bullets into it before you launcher it. And it would have blown it up. Luckily, he was still able to get the guys that came out. It's going to blow up next to him. But he's kind of in a really bad spot. At least he was able to get the satchel. Tommy died. Noobs died. Now he has to like just literally play his life for placement. Since they already have about 15-ish kills at this point, they just have to play the life because the longer they stay alive, their points increase without them doing anything. And maybe they're able to third party a kill here or there. So now it's Huskers and Rated. Aiden's gone.
Otherwise, they'd just be running at you.
There's the Bertha. He's like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? There is somebody behind him. You can see that Rated marked them on the map.
Bro, I have a pistol. Default pistol. Light in a bush. Not issue. Which you don't want me to.
Wait, someone's on the. I think someone just tried.
And there it goes. You can see the little where it's firing at. There it is. They blew it up.
Yeah, I know. I think I tried to.
And that's sometimes like what's important
Yeah.
when you are dead or we're not able to be like as active in the gunfight. You can look at the mini map and there's different little cute clues here and there that maybe in the moment, like Husker's about to get run over, his eyes can't be looking up at the mini map at that instant. So now he's just gonna play this spot.
Behind you with the Bertha is to rotate, and I try to kill them.
They're rotating right now. They're rotating right
Now,
now.
they're at
So they are
47 volts
rotating.
now.
Will they rotate towards the top right? And you can see there's only 8 teams left besides them. And everyone's a low team, right? There's only one team that is fully alive at this point.
Oh, he's in
There
the-
they goes.
he's near the edge, gas.
They should be pushing in. You might even hear him cough.
Give a stun too. He's getting fucking pelted.
Okay, he just died.
I think they got top.
He got a stun, and then he got instantly smoked from behind. So here we go. Kaylie has the like 1 kill. They've made it all the way over here. Like I said, sometimes like when you put all the eggs in rotating that early, it makes it very hard to get kills. And then by the time you've rotated, it ends up being a tricky spot. But she plays this perfectly, and you'll see kind of how it all plays out where you're able to out-survive. This is the top 5 teams left. Well, top 6, but there's 5 other teams and 9 other players. So almost everyone has died through attrition at this point where they're not full teams. The guy comes through, ends up getting the shots off, cleans up, goes back to plate, and then is deciding of, hey, you know what? I need to go get the plates or the money or whatever. Such a dangerous spot. Used all the plates there. Teammate called out where they were.
I can't even.
Doesn't have a gas mask. And like, there's 5 teams, 8 other players. Just holding it at this point. Gonna fire if anyone comes up the stairs, and then seeing where the rotation is, right? And that's kind of what you have to do in these scenarios. They don't have enough health. If they peek one of the windows, instantly dead. So this is like the perfect play. Obviously, somebody could throw a stun and then maybe you get stunned. But doesn't matter. There's really only one way they can come up. There might be a hop up with the vehicle. But
Dude,
as of right now,
like where people literally just aren't fighting each other.
literally nobody's fighting. Everyone's doing the exact same play
One person has died.
to try and stay quiet, right?
Another one.
So 5 teams, 7 players.
Hopefully he gets in the Bertha.
There it is, the hard shift. And that was the perfect shift. If it shifts the other way,
Does.
it's like bad luck, right? She goes, checks the body real quick. There's some plates. And then gas mask. And the teammate called that out. Gas mask res. So they're calming through the situation. And I was watching this live. I was like, oh man, hopefully she can make it to the buy. They don't even know she's there. She gives it away. And then she comes through, picks up this kill, I believe. They try to do it there. Gas mask run out. Gets another kill. That ended up being Almond. Gets the last guy here, but he's in one shot. Dies in the gas. And then that's it. The last guy alive ends up getting the win. So overall, they ended up with 7 kills. Times it by 2, you get 14 points. So Aiden's team that, you know, maybe they got top 4 right there. They ended up with like 15 kills, but they got top 5. So they end up with like 20 points or whatever the case is. So you end up with more points even though you didn't end up winning, but that's just kind of the nature of the game and the format changing. And we'll kind of see how it goes. I definitely recommend checking out all their channels. They stream over on Twitch and upload over on YouTube. Do appreciate all the support on the content. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, subscribe with notifications on. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.